Now we are going into a very important part of the beginner's lessons, which is a Geetham. A Geetham means a song, and here in Carnatic music it means a very simple form of composition. Before you actually enter the more complicated ones like the varnams and the swarajatis, jatiswarams and kritis and kirtanas, the first stage is the Geetham, which is a very simple form of composition. There is no it is not divided into segments like pallavi, anupallavi, caraNam. It's not complicated. There are no variations to the tunes. There are no sangatis or variations. And also most Geethams, the lines repeat after a particular bridging line. So it becomes very simple and ideal for a beginner to start his song. And the very first time we are introducing sahityas. Sahityas is very important in an instrument because you don't usually see there are two types of notes. One can come with a syllable, one can come with a vowel, not no syllable. The Geethams, the lyrics itself may have an a or a e or a u or a all these are not syllables as such, and so you don't, the difference between how do you distinguish between a note which you play for a syllable and a note which you play for a vowel? By actually not playing the note, not plucking with your right hand and just going by the strength of your left hand by the pluck of the previous note. So in Geethams they introduced one or not even two, sometimes one note without a syllable, for which the meter or the pluck is not given for the right hand. Please note, I'll tell you more in detail when you actually come to the line when we do the sahityas. First I'll be playing the swaras. The Geethams you normally play the swaras in 3 speeds, but now I'm playing only 1 speed, somewhat intermediary between the first and the second. You can practice with 3 speeds, and it is ideal to practice in all the 3 speeds. Now the first Geetham in this line of Geethams, the line of Pillari Geethams composed by Purandara Daasar long time ago, is set to the Ragam Malahari, which is a derivative or a janya or born of the mother Ragam maayamaaLava gowLa, which we have seen all along so far. A janya Ragam may not have a couple of swaras, or it may be in a twisted fashion, or it may be a zigzag, or it may not have the same arohana and avarohana, but it essentially has the same notes as that of its parent. So very rarely it has notes belonging to not the parent. So in this case, Malahari is a janya ragam of maayamaaLava gowLa, and the arohana and the avarohana follow this pattern. Please note. Sri, ma, pa, da, sa. So the ga and the ni are absent in the arohana, and the avarohana sa, da, pa, ma, da, re, sa. So the ni is absent in the avarohana. The ga is present in the avarohana but not in the arohana. It has the same swarasthanas as that of its parent. The same notes, the same ri, the same ma, the chajjam, the shuddha rishabam, the shuddha madhyamam, panchamam, shuddha daivatam and the tarasthai sajjam. While coming back it has the shuddha daivatam, the panchamam, the shuddha madhyamam, the antaragantaram and the shuddha rishabam. So it is a janyam of maayamaaLava gowLa. But the flavor is totally different. You don't play the ga gamakam in the same way as you play the maayamaaLava gowLa. The Malahari ga is more shallow and it can also be played plain. The more gamakas are for da and the ri. And the jarus play a more important role in this Geetham. The dha to ri or the sa to da and the ri to ma and sa to da. These are all important jarus which you use in the Geetham, which you can note now. The first Geetham in the Pillari series is the Srigananatha, very popular, or also it is known as lambOdara. So you start off with the notes. Now I'll play it plain and then I'll play it with the gamakas. You can note the difference in the bhava. The notes are this is set to roopakam taaLam. So the same mapa dasa sari can also be played this way. You play the da in the pa, the way I told you in the Sarli Varshai, and the ri in the sa. Then the next line. Re, Sa, Da, Pa, Ma, Pa. I'm giving a jaru from Sa to Da. And also giving a jaru for the first Re. I'm giving a gamakam for the Re. I play the Re in the Sa, not in the Re. The Re, if you want to play the Re or the Da with the gamakam, don't play it in the Re or the Da, but play it in the previous fret. Because if you play the Re in the Re, give oscillation in the Re, it will lead to the next note Re 2, which is out of the raga. Similarly, Da, if you plan to play with the gamakam, you have to play it in the Pa. Because the Da note, when oscillated, produces the Da 2, which is not there in the ragam. Rima, Pada, Mapa, I'll now play. This is the plain notes. If you play it with the gamakam, I am oscillating Da in the Pa, and Da to Ma I am giving a jaru. The Da Pa Ma Garisa again the Da can be played with an oscillation. Ga to Re, a jaru can be given. A jaru is just a glide. No oscillation is needed. So we'll play the whole thing. The next line would be now with the gamakam. I am playing the Re's in the Sa. I give the jaru for the first note Sa from the lower Da, which is behind Re. The note corresponding to Re in the second string, Shuddha Rishabham, the first note in the second string is Shuddha Devatam. Then the next line, Rima Pada Mapa again. I'm giving a oscillation for Da. I oscillate Pa to produce the Da. It's already been done before. Only a glide here from Ga to Re. Again you will finish it off with now I'll play the whole Geetham. You can also give a gamakam for Ma, in the sense that you can oscillate Ma, but it should be a deeper Ma. You shouldn't oscillate this way because it will produce the next Ma. If you want to give a gamakam for Ma, you take it all the way up to Pa. So you should actually take it up to all the way up to Pa in the Ma. You can keep your fingers in Ma and take it all the way deeper inside and produce a gamaka. Like this. If you want to give a gamakam for Ma. Now this stanza is played twice because there are two such stanzas with different lyrics. Now we'll come to the Sahitya portion. As you all know, it is Srigananatha. I'll just give you one or two lines and then you can follow. The first line is Srigananatha. So it comes with a syllable as also it comes with a vowel. Srigananatha. Now if I'm going to give I'm giving shree. The second note comes with an E, which is a vowel, not a syllable. So you should not pluck. For pa, which is the second note in the first line, you should not pluck. Should not give a pluck or a meter. You just have to play with the strength of the sound that comes by plucking the previous note. You play it like this. I am actually not giving a meter for pa. Then it's sindoora varNa. Sindoora varNa. So, Sindhu, the Re and Sa have syllables. Ura, U is again a vowel, so the Da doesn't have a meter. So, you have to pull it. You have to glide it down with a downward jaru. karuNa, saagara. Everything, all the notes have syllables, so you have to give a meter for all the notes. Karivadana. You can guess. The Re doesn't have a syllable, so you don't give a meter for the Re. But the strength of the pushing, you have to give the push with more strength, because otherwise the sound will not sustain. It's very difficult to keep it. The strength of the sound is produced only from the previous note. So you have to press with a little amount of jaru push is required for notes which don't have plucks. You can play up to 2-3 notes also. There are people who play even more. And today with the mics and the amplification systems, it is possible even to play 7-8 notes at a stretch. Now I'll play the full Geetham, the Sahityam. Start with the Sahityas. Now we'll proceed to the second para. For the Sahityas, you can refer to the book. I am not singing it now, but just note how the non-plucked notes shift. In the first one, it was in pa. I didn't give a pluck for pa. In the second stanza, I shifted it to, because it is siddha caraNa. I shifted the non-plucked swara to sa, and in the third one, it is sakala vidya. So the Re is the swaram without the pluck. So it similarly shifts. But there are only 1 or 2 notes without the pluck, so it is not very difficult. That's why Geethams are the simplest form of compositions.